Now, the other thing that's very interesting when you start to look at the counts of the alleged charges, 31 of the 37 counts alleged in the indictment are individual counts, one per document, specific to Statute 793E, which pertains to Defense Department information. There were, as claimed in the Justice Department prior court argument, and again affirmed today in the indictment itself, 100 classified documents located by the FBI and DOJ after the Trump certification of compliance. Of those 100 documents, 31 of them were specifically selected to represent the baseline for 793E charge. Jack Smith is relying on 18 U.S. Code 793, a law created in 1948 intended to stop contractors to the Defense Department from stealing, selling, or copying U.S. defense system secrets or patents on defense products. The premise of the 31 counts, each an individual document, pertain to national defense security. The subsequent 6 counts are predicated around the claimed 793E violations. The DOJ is not arguing a classified document case. The entire legal framework is centered around documents they define as vital to the defense security of the United States. Everything is predicated on 18 U.S. Code 793E violation. Everything, which means they don't have a case. But why would they use this? Did Trump and the Patriots, did they bring them down this path? They knew they couldn't get him on classified documents. It doesn't make sense because he's allowed to have classified documents. That's why they really didn't bring charges against that, because they know they couldn't get anywhere with that. So why would they bring these charges against Trump? It seems like Trump knew the playbook. It looks like that this is being used to actually be turned on the deep state players. Because did they sell secrets? Were they working with foreign countries? Absolutely. But what did you need to do to have the population to go along with this, especially the side of the D's and the fake news? You needed to bring this out, and you needed the fake news, the D's, all those people that are still for Biden. You needed them to say, yes, this is what is being done to Trump, and it's right. We're behind it. Think about that for a second, because Alan Dershowitz, he said the following: Dems who oppose dangerous and unconstitutional Espionage Act now rooting for it to be applied broadly. He said the Espionage Act is one of the most dangerous and unconstitutional statutes ever passed. It was passed by Woodrow Wilson in 1917 in order to imprison dissidents who were opposed to the war. Every civil libertarian, every liberal, every progressive, every Democrat I know was against this statute for the last 100 years. Now they're all rooting for it to be applied broadly to the conduct that has nothing to do with espionage. There's no allegation that he ever endangered national security or showed material to enemies or sold it to enemies. So why in the world would Jack Smith be doing this? You think Trump and the Patriots? You think they're a little bit in control here? You think they wanted the people to learn about espionage? You think they wanted the fake news, the corrupt politicians all behind this? Of course they did. Because this is all going to be turned on the deep state in the end. Mike Davis put this out on Twitter. He said the following: bingo. Jack Smith's legal theory is essentially this: even if president declassifies his presidential records and takes them when he leaves office, he can still get charged under Espionage Act. National Defense Information promised that theory won't fly with the Supreme Court. It won't fly with Trump because why? He didn't do anything. But what happens if there are corrupt politicians, presidents included? What happens if they took classified information, gave it, or sold it to foreign countries, and NARA was covering for them? What happens if other politicians did this? Would they fall under this? Of course they would. What do you think they're actually doing here? They're bringing down the deep state. They're setting them up. They're preparing all of this. Just like Trump in the White House in 2016, he prepared continuity of government. He prepared everything for a specific moment. That moment was November 3rd, 2020. He knew they were going to cheat. He knew they were going to overthrow the government. He knew that there was going to be an insurrection. He knew the military was going to be activated. Remember, this is the biggest sting operation the world has ever seen. Paul Sperry put this out. Sources say Special Counsel Smith does not actually have the supposed smoking gun Doc Trump is heard on an audio talking about, which means he cannot prove it. It is classified and thus prove Trump knew it was classified. Prosecutors have no real evidence to show jurors. It's strange that there's no audio. It's strange that they don't have this. They have nothing. Trump brought them in. Trump trapped them. And now we have a former top Justice Department official believes he has found something in the indictment of Trump that could actually lead to a dismissal by a federal judge. Jeffrey Clark, who served as an assistant attorney general in the Trump administration, said after reading through the 49-page indictment that there is something on page 3 that is troubling for the prosecution. I'm beginning to read the indictment against Trump, but even 3 pages in, it is clear that these leaks that preceded the indictment are far too close to what is actually being pleaded by Department of Justice to be a coincidence. For example, in paragraph 6A on page 3, we hear about the recording of the Bedminster call, which the MSNBC of the world have been beating a dead horse about for quite a while based on such leaks. This means that Trump's lawyer could not possibly be the source of the leaks. Ergo, the leaks are coming from the Department of Justice. They must be investigated and punished. Also, this is grounds for granting a motion highlighting jury pool poisoning and dismissing the indictment before it reaches even its 1-month birthday. All of this is so outrageous. It shocks the conscious. It's fundamentally anti-American. Trump witch hunt number whatever. I've lost count. Let's call it Trump witch hunt 99. Now, really think about this for a second. Do you think the Department of Justice, you think they're going to say, holy crap, yeah, you're right, you know something? No, they don't follow the rule of law. They're the criminal syndicate. Remember, in the end, what Trump is showing the American people is that the Department of Justice is completely corrupt. The FBI is completely corrupt. The criminal syndicate infiltrated everything, which means you can't get a fair trial. They're not going to prosecute themselves. They're not going to investigate themselves. It will never, ever, ever happen. How do you investigate these agencies? How do you investigate the criminal syndicate? Go back to the small town. If the small town is run by the mafia, if they control the judge, if they control the prosecutors, if they control the police, if they control everything in the town, how do you prosecute them? You need an outside organization. Normally, it would be the FBI for a small town. They would come in, they would investigate, and holy crap, the whole town is corrupt. We caught them in all of this. So how do you do it on a larger scale? How do you do it in a country where the country is completely corrupt and it's run by the criminal syndicate? You need an outside force. What is that outside force? It's called the military. Trump has been setting this up, bringing the people of this country into a position where they'll accept the military, where they'll accept the military having tribunals. He's showing everyone, look how corrupt the system is. Look how bad it is. There's only one cure. The cure is the military. Period. The end. That is what he's doing right now. And when you look at what the FBI is putting out with all the boxes and all this stuff, I mean, does anyone really believe these pictures? You think Trump keeps his documents in the bathroom next to the toilet? I mean, they were in a locked room. You think they're using the bathroom with all these documents? I mean, really think about this for a second. In Mar-a-Lago, this huge place, the only place he has is a bathroom. Does that make any sense? Or did they set it up? It looks like they set it up to me. Now, the other thing that's very interesting is that Kash Patel in True Social, he put this out. He said, Department of Justice swung for injustice. Now Congress must step up for the actual justice. Here's the dummy sheet. Subpoena Ray Bratt allegedly dangled the judgeship as leverage for an attorney representing 45's co-defendant. Subpoena every single name on special counsel Jack Smith's team. They're public prosecutors. There's a reason he refuses to turn over a single name. Trump declassified all Crossfire Hurricane records. Smith just wormholed. Garland Ray never wanted them out. Subpoena all of them. And he's absolutely right. This is what the House should be doing right now. But look what the people are realizing. Remember, the people already see the FBI is corrupt. And this is part of Trump's entire plan. Not him alone, but the military behind him. Nearly half in a new poll say Trump indictment is politically motivated. Politically motivated by who? The Department of Justice. He needs everyone to understand that the Department of Justice is completely corrupt. They already understand the FBI is corrupt. The people were still saying, well, is the Department of Justice, is that still on the up and up? And now the people are realizing, no, that is corrupt too. The whole thing is corrupt. Now, I want to go back to post 3716. Now, there were two posts, 3716 and 3717. And I do believe that these posts were put up, and they're the exact same post. They were done on purpose because these posts needed to be looked at very, very carefully. And this is what it says. This is December 17, 2019. First indictment unseal will trigger mass population awakening. Who was the first one indicted? It was Trump. The first arrest will verify action and confirm future direction. They will fight, but you are ready. Marker 9. So the first unseal was Trump. He was indicted. Who do you think is going to be arrested? Trump. Why? Because it has to happen to him first. He needs to complete this. So there's never, ever a question when they go after all these people. How do we know it's him? Well, since there's post 3716 to 3717, look at the timestamp. 17, very interesting, 3, and the last digits for seconds is 45 on both of them. Trump most likely will be arrested, which means the entire task is complete. Just like the first marker, which was November 3rd, the overthrow of the United States government, the overthrow of the duly elected president. Trump, he needs them to go all the way, and he needs them to arrest him. The mission then will be complete. This is why Trump, during his rally in Georgia, North Carolina, he said the following. Just take a listen.
We are a failing nation. We are a nation in decline. And now these radical left lunatics want to interfere with our elections by using law enforcement. It's totally corrupt, and we can't let it happen. This is the final battle. With you at my side, we will demolish the deep state. We will expel the warmongers from our government. We will drive out the globalists. We will cast out the communists. We will throw off the sick political class that hates our country. We will roll out the fake news media. We will expose the rhinos for what they are. We will defeat Joe Biden, and we will liberate America from these villains once and for all. We will liberate. We're going to liberate our country.
We are now in the final battle. And the final battle doesn't mean it's over tomorrow. It means the final battle. Battles can be a very long period of time. This is the final battle. It's either we win or they win. I do believe we're going to win, but Trump is letting the people know we're in the final battle. And he said something very important. He says, this is the final battle, if you heard him. He says, we're going to get rid of everyone, but he needs the people with him. And that reminds me of post 666. This is February 5th, 2018. Down below it says, public is vital. Release of info, vital. Outrage, justice. Can we simply arrest the opposition without first exposing the truth? follow the light. We cannot. He must complete the mission. He must complete it. This is why when he was asked a question, they asked him the following question. If you're convicted on the bogus federal indictment, Jack Smith charges, are you going to drop out of the race? Now, the fake news, they want him to drop out. That's why they're pushing this. They're saying he's going to drop out. That's it. He's done. No, the Patriots are in control. He knows exactly what's going on. The military's behind him. Actually, everything is already said and done. We're just playing out the last moves. And this is what Trump said. I'll never leave. Look, if I would have left, I would have left prior to the original race in 2016. That was a rough one. In theory, that was not doable. So basically, he is going to continue to run even if he's convicted. Now, a lot of people are saying, oh my God, if he's convicted, he's a convicted felon. He can't run for president. Trump is not barred from running for president from prison or as a convicted felon. So can he do this? Yes, and I do believe he needs to complete this mission. This way he can turn the tables on the deep state. The fake news can't say anything. The corrupt politicians can't say anything. Nobody can say anything. It was already done. Trump already set every single precedent. And this is why he said we're in the final battle. So if we're in the final battle and they're going to indict him, which they did, and they're going to send him to prison, convict him, he'll probably get out on bail.